Dear students, today we will practice multiple choice questions with brief explanations on the topic concepts and theories of learning, including classical conditioning, instrumental learning, and operant conditioning. Please watch the entire video as it provides brief explanations for the answers to the questions. Let's begin. Question 1 is: in classical conditioning, the process of learning occurs when a conditioned stimulus is paired with an unconditioned response. B. Neutral stimulus is repeatedly paired with an unconditioned stimulus. C. Conditioned response is followed by reinforcement. D. Behavior is shaped by punishment. Answer B. In classical conditioning, a neutral stimulus becomes a conditioned stimulus by association. Question 2. What is the term for the reappearance of a previously extinguished conditioned response? A. Generalization. B. Spontaneous recovery. C. Discrimination. D. Extinction. Answer B. Spontaneous recovery occurs when a conditioned response reemerges after extinction. 3. In operant conditioning, a behavior that is strengthened by the removal of an unpleasant stimulus is called A. Positive reinforcement. B. Negative reinforcement. C. Punishment. D. Extinction. Answer B. Negative reinforcement involves removing an aversive stimulus to increase a behavior. 4. In classical conditioning, what is the role of the neutral stimulus before conditioning? A. It elicits a conditioned response. B. It has no response effect. C. It acts as a reinforcer. D. It is a consequence of behavior. Answer B. Before conditioning, a neutral stimulus does not elicit any response. 5. Which of the following is an example of shaping in operant conditioning? A. A dog receives a treat every time it sits. B. A child gets praised for progressively writing better essays. C. A student avoids studying because of past failure. D. A rat receives food for pressing a lever. Answer B. Shaping involves reinforcing successive approximations toward a desired behavior. 6. Extinction in classical conditioning occurs when A. A conditioned response is followed by punishment. B. A conditioned stimulus is repeatedly presented without the unconditioned stimulus. C. A stimulus is removed to strengthen behavior. D. A response is reinforced in successive steps. Answer B. Extinction happens when the conditioned stimulus no longer predicts the unconditioned stimulus. 7. The ability to differentiate between similar stimuli in classical conditioning is called A. Discrimination. B. Generalization. C. Extinction. D. Spontaneous recovery. Answer A. Discrimination is when an organism responds differently to similar stimuli. 8. Who demonstrated that phobias could be learned through classical conditioning? A. B. F. Skinner. B. Albert Bandura. C. John B. Watson. D. Edward Thorndike. Answer C. John B. Watson demonstrated this in the Little Albert experiment. 9. What is an example of negative punishment? A. Taking away a toy to reduce tantrums. B. Giving extra homework for being late. C. Scolding a child for misbehaving. D. Rewarding a student for good behavior. Answer A. Negative punishment involves removing a positive stimulus to decrease behavior. 10. In operant conditioning, reinforcement that is given unpredictably after different numbers of responses is A. Fixed ratio, B. Variable ratio, C. Fixed interval, D. Variable interval. Answer B. Variable ratio schedules produce high, steady response rates. 11. The Skinner box was used to study A. Reflexive responses, B. Instrumental learning, C. Operant behavior, D. Cognitive development. Answer C. Skinner used the operant chamber to study behavior modification through reinforcement. 12. The tendency for conditioned responses to return after a delay is called A. Extinction, B. Generalization, C. Spontaneous recovery, D. Acquisition. Answer C. Spontaneous recovery refers to the return of a conditioned response after extinction. 13. In classical conditioning, the concept of higher-order conditioning refers to A. Strengthening the conditioned response with repeated reinforcement, B. Pairing a new neutral stimulus with an already conditioned stimulus to create a new conditioned response, C. Eliminating a conditioned response by extinction, D. Introducing an aversive stimulus after an undesired behavior. Answer B. Higher order conditioning occurs when a conditioned stimulus is used to condition another stimulus. 14. According to Skinner, which type of reinforcement schedule results in the highest response rate and greatest resistance to extinction? A. Fixed ratio schedule, B. Variable ratio schedule, C. Fixed interval schedule, D. Continuous reinforcement schedule. Answer B. Variable ratio schedules, such as gambling, produce the highest response rate and strong resistance to extinction. 15. The concept of equipotentiality in classical conditioning suggests that A. Any stimulus can be conditioned equally in all organisms. B. Conditioning is more effective in certain species due to biological constraints. C. Reinforcement schedules influence behavior more than stimulus pairing. D. Certain behaviors are more easily conditioned due to survival relevance. Answer A. Equipotentiality suggests that any neutral stimulus can be conditioned, but later studies challenged this idea. 16. In the context of operant conditioning, the term response burst refers to A. A sudden increase in response frequency before extinction occurs, B. The strengthening of a conditioned response due to repeated reinforcement, C. The sudden loss of learned behavior due to punishment, D. The pairing of neutral and conditioned stimuli. Answer A. An extinction burst is when a behavior increases temporarily before it decreases during extinction. 17. The Premack principle states that A. A more probable behavior can reinforce a less probable behavior. B. Reinforcement is only effective when applied intermittently. C. Punishment is more effective than reinforcement in learning. D. Conditioned responses are permanent and cannot be altered. Answer A. The Premack principle suggests that a preferred activity can reinforce a less preferred activity. 18. In Thorndike's puzzle box experiments, cats learned to escape through A. Observational learning, B. Trial and error learning, C. Classical conditioning, D. Latent learning. Answer B. Thorndike's cats learned through trial and error, leading to the development of the law of effect. 19. Which of the following best describes Thorndike's law of readiness in learning? A. Learning occurs only when reinforcement is present. B. Organisms must be in a state of mental and physical preparedness for learning to take place. C. Learning is based on the association between stimuli and responses. D. Extinction occurs when a conditioned response is no longer reinforced. Answer B. The law of readiness states that individuals learn best when they are mentally and physically prepared to engage in a task. 20. According to Skinner, the process of shaping behavior involves A. Reinforcing successive approximations of a desired behavior. B. Punishing all incorrect responses. C. Only rewarding behaviors that are fully completed. D. Using observational learning exclusively. Answer A. Shaping involves reinforcing behaviors that are closer and closer to the desired behavior. Thank you, don't miss out. Subscribe now to my YouTube channel, Education and Teacher Education, for insightful content and valuable resources.